Hello everyone, xBundok here. Obviously, we have a little bit of a different space than normal, and I did want to do this all on live stream, but like I let you guys know, a couple of camera issues. That's besides the point. I have something very exciting for you all today. At least I think it's exciting. I was very excited when I walked into the store and got it. This is probably the first of at least a 2 or 3 video series. I will try to do them sequentially and not have too many breaks in between, but I'm just going to get right to the point. This is going to be an awesome paint, an awesome piece of terrain, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're just going to hop right into it. So I walked into our local game store the other day, and there's been something I've been hunting for a little while, and I was going to buy it from a custom printer on Etsy. However, turns out one of the other leading names makes something similar, and someone had just recently sold their collection to said local game store, and this was just put on the shelf, and I think it was maybe 2 days. I think they said they put it out on a Saturday afternoon. I picked it up Monday morning. So without much more ado, we have Sophie's Revenge. So this is a full pirate ship made by Reaper from their Bones collection. It does have cannons, the little hatches open, you can take off the decks. The masts are all magnetic, so if it's taking damage, you can take each mast off, or if you want to make it, you know, a 2 or a 3 or what have you. So like I said, this was pre-owned. It wasn't wrapped when I bought it. It was marked down. I looked on the Reaper website. It looks like their general asking price is $200. The shop had it listed at $150, and I had some store credit left over. So I ended up getting this for probably around $90 or so. I did get some, you know, mystery dice grab bags too. So if you count the discount just towards that, probably around 90 something, which I couldn't turn down. So this is Clem. Please excuse Clem. I do apologize. Come on, buddy. So this is our Christmas present to ourselves here in the Cavern. So let's do a little unboxing and some assembly and enjoy this wonderful pirate ship. All right, so we're working with a little bit of limited space here. So we'll probably move to handheld camera, but just so we can see, right? Like I said, this wasn't wrapped. It was just taped closed since it was a resale. But inside, I mean, it's all still packaged. You still have plastic wrapping. Some of the pieces that are in here, you can see like the hatches, they're still on the sprue. So we don't, I'm pretty sure this guy got it and then just let it sit. Maybe he bought it at release and didn't feel the need to put it together, but we're gonna put it together and paint it and enjoy it. Oh, look at those. It's already on the ground. This is going to be so much fun. So this, for the maiden, I don't know if I want to make her the same color as the rest of the ship, or if I want to add a little bit of extra color, but that's not a problem for current us. That is quite a bit in the future. So we have to get this unpacked, assembled, and primed. So let's see what we got going on here. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to set everything bagged to the side. I know this is probably like the worst unboxing video you all have seen in history, and that's okay. It's not my expertise. But I do want to get the main body of this ship out of here so we can kind of get a look at it. If the only assembly I need to do is masts, hatches, and this obscene bag of cannons, then that's not too bad. We have our anchor pieces here. All right. Make sure all of our little cubby holes are okay. So there you go. You saw that right there in the mast box. Base for your mast. So let's get this main body out of here. You see, comes off separate. What's the best way to do this, do you guys think? Maybe we'll just take off our top deck tier here. So that's not bad. I was worried I was gonna have to do like the actual deck assembly, but I mean, that is steady there on its own, and that's a good print. I mean, you guys get a look here. I'm not seeing, I mean, maybe in between there's a little extra, but it's not bad quality at all. This is actually pretty great. Hatches just have the regular little notches like you'll see to put those in there. Set that to the side. Now this middle piece comes up too, so let's get these off of here. I'm sure you're all like, Bundok, I really hope you took a picture at the start so you remember how all this goes back into the box. Nope. So I guess I'll just watch this video in reverse and hope for the best. Let's get that. Let's see. Come on, buddy. You can do it. There we go. Look at that. That is something else. We have our weekend set up for here, kids. Man, that's weekend set up for us here, kids. I cannot speak. It is way too early in the morning, but I digress. There's a little bit right there that might need touched up. All in all, not concerned by any means with the print quality. And I mean, I expected that from Reaper. I expected something solid and well done. All right, the last piece of our ship here. Look at that. Look at how excellent that is. This is gonna be so cool. I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am, because this is probably my favorite thing that I've gotten to date. Now what I will say, I'll kind of go over my plan of action for this beastie. Still gonna prime in black. I know you probably think it's dumb. Why wouldn't you prime in brown? Well, I did not go out and get any brown primer, so that's reason number one. Reason number two, I do want to try and do white dry brush. So black primer, white dry brush, and then airbrush the browns on and see how good of an effect that gives, because I know a lot of people talk about it all the time. So we've got all our pieces. Let's get started putting some hatches and some cannons together. I'll probably leave the hatches off and prime them separate, paint them, and put them on at the end once everything is painted up. But we still have to assemble the anchor and the mast and things like that. So let's get started and get on that. So I decided to put the cannons together first, just because A, they're relatively easy assembly, and B, there's 20 of them. And it also saves from figuring out where things go on the ship. So there were no instructions included. I mean, granted, a lot of it at this stage is self-explanatory. I did a little bit of research online, and I did see that whomever had this ship before me did do some assembly in getting the bulk of the ship put together, which is also why I feel the railing at the top doesn't line up exactly as it should. I'm not faulting them. It's okay, because if I'm being honest, if I'm going to take off the third deck anyway while ever you're playing, it's okay if they don't line up perfect every time. Does it bother me a little bit while I'll be sitting on a shelf? Probably, but it is what it is. So we're relying on our Elmer super glue to get all this together. One of the good things about these larger Reaper prints is they are made to be durable. One of the bad things about these prints is they are made to be durable. So the plastic that they use for this is very flexible. So later on down the line, while I was airbrushing the base coats, is when I decided to put the hatches on. And if you don't press right, I guess correctly, whenever you're actually assembling, they bend super easy. And they're just the regular, little pegs on each side of the hatch to put into the round divots above each window, a porthole. None were damaged. They are all on the ship. It's just 2 or 3 do have the stress lines on them, which is fine because you're going to paint over it. But that's all I would say is just be careful because it's very bendable, very flexible. So the next thing we're going to do is the masts. Each one of them for their pieces has a specific tongue and groove, so you can't actually mess up putting the wrong piece on the wrong mast. It's not possible, which kudos on you, Reaper, because I probably would have. So I did assemble them all first just to make sure I had them all correct and fitting right. And then I took them apart, and you'll see here, even without glue, these 2 pieces of the mast are a little bit hard to separate. But then we glued them together for full assembly. So we'll do that next. Now up next is the front of the ship, and the way they set this up was pretty brilliant. There's actually 2 holes inside the main piece there to set it into, so it's not a balancing act or, praying that the glue holds correctly. Relatively easy assembly. I will say, again, it is a very flexible piece. So to the point that while I was airbrushing later on, even the air for it moved it a good bit. So that's just something to keep in mind. But otherwise, let's get this put together. We'll get the anchor put together. Anchor is similar, of course. It has the same notches, tongue and groove, just like everything else. The anchor I will leave off because I'll probably paint that separately before attaching to the side of the boat, just so we can make sure we actually get all of the paint coverage that we would like underneath the boat. So the anchor may look a little bit flimsy since it does have the rope on the end, but I mean, again, regular tongue and groove stuff. The actual end for the eyelet for the rope, there is a groove underneath, so that's where the anchor sits, and then right up here there's a groove underneath, right where that will set in, that will glow in, that makes it quite stable, and then you have obviously the holes up front for where the rope would feed through. Now, I'm assuming this is Sophie, right? Sophie would be on the front of the ship for Sophie's Revenge, or would it be someone else? I feel like it would be Sophie. Anyway, we're going to put her together. I have decided that I do want to do her with different colors versus just making it a flat wood, like browns. So I'll probably do those and then try and do some sort of weathering over top so it does look like it was painted. Maybe put like some chipping or something like that that shows the bare wood coloring underneath. I think that would kind of pull it together. Another thing I would like to do if I have the time or the ability, I'd love to go and actually sit down and make like little clay barnacles to try and put on the water line of the ship just to add a little bit more to it. But we'll see how the ship itself goes first before we get there. So yeah, let's finish putting Sophie together here. So Miss Sophie is all complete. This is the end of our assembly video, video number 1. Video number 2 will hopefully be out this week. I should be able to finish it up. We'll see if I want to put the full painting into one video, or if I want to split that between 2 as well. However, I'm really excited about this. It's a lot of fun. It's been something that I've been wanting to get for a while. One of the playable ships, either from Reaper or a 3D printer. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave some comments if you have any suggestions, if you've built your own Sophies. Revenge. And subscribe if you'd like to come back and see the rest of this build. Take care.